I first found out about the company on Facebook. I was in a group for musicians, and Gaynor, who's director of Willo, Wisp and the Fire Sprite, put out a post asking for musicians to see if they can get involved. I contacted Gaynor and found out what she needed and came along.
I seen the post. My mum was like, Gaynor was talking to me, you should go. And then I came here and I helped make stuff.
We saw The Tempest in Croxteth Park the summer before last and really enjoyed it. And at the end of the show, Gaynor came out and said how she'd like people to volunteer. And we thought, well, that was right up our street. I always love making things, and we got involved with Willo, the Wisp and the Fire Sprite and never intended to do any acting. And before we know it, both me and my husband were doing our first drama workshop, and it was absolutely brilliant.
I've seen 2 of the previous productions and was just blown away by them. I saw The Tempest and then I saw Treasure Island. I got an email to say come along. So I met people in the volunteer group and started to help Sophie with producing the sets for this production.
Gaynor and Carl on the show taught me the importance of creating my character rather than just reading from the script. It was learning about who Stumpy Bassstring the Tall Dwarf is, and what he's all about. I've never acted.
Well, I tell a lie. I had one line in a panto in school in about 1979, and it's not very memorable. I've never done anything like that before, so it was a real sort of voyage of discovery and so interesting.
So a lot of it was quite creative rather than just reading off the script. I was creating his whole backstory in my mind, and I think that really helped develop the character in the show.
The funny thing is, like, people who know me will say, well, Paula's dead quiet and shy, and then it turns out I'm actually not, and I actually really enjoyed that experience, coming up with ideas and improvising. It was great, such a buzz, brilliant.
I've made dressing up clothes for children in school and, sort of small things like that, or for my daughter or my granddaughter, but never anything like this, no.
I actually enjoyed it. It's just all art stuff, and I love doing art stuff.
That kind of, we can get over, how can we work this out? How can we actually use what we've got in front of us to make it special for the audience? That, to me, was really great fun.
It's just a great show in general.
Working with Amy and Taryn, the music directors on Willo the Wisp, it was quite interesting really that I was working a lot with like open tuning on the guitar, so to get like sort of a Celtic sound, which is something I was quite new to. The way we were playing outside, I'd not really done that before, especially not out of like a more sort of contemporary pop music setting. So to be playing in a sort of theatre production out in parks and open air, it was a really different experience.
I don't think I've sung since I was at school, really. It was nice to be singing as part of a group and learning a song, helping to, I suppose, write the song as well. That was really good. So yeah, it was brilliant.
Taryn was one of the other tall dwarves. We were cousins in the show, and I think because we spent a lot of time together and we were out often in the locations where we were doing the shows, it was just me and him out in the middle of nowhere with our little tent and everything. I think we got really close during the production, and I think it started to feel like we were really cousins, or maybe even brothers.
It wouldn't be difficult for me to improve my dance skills because I literally have got 2 left feet. She was really, really patient.
Working with Bev was the first time I'd ever really done any sort of choreographed dancing. Like, I like to dance on a night out and everything, but I've never done anything for like a show or anything before, so the whole thing was really new to me. So just learning set moves and things like that was really interesting.
An added sort of thing to consider for me is that my degree of movement and dexterity is not brilliant because I've got Parkinson's, and she was absolutely so understanding about that. So she took that into account, and I did eventually learn the dance and managed to do it reasonably well on most occasions. So yeah, it was a good learning curve.
How things are made, for instance, the outfits. Willo the Wisp's outfit, even the gnomes' outfits, which appear to be quite simple, have been well thought out and made to coordinate as much as show the individual person, you know, the individual character.
Gaynor said they had the fanciest handwriting. I made all the signs for everywhere. So I did that. I sat here for 2 hours and did all that. Read there, to be honest. I liked it. I found I like actually took like credit to myself just because I did that and everyone could see it. And it made the show that little bit more magical.
It was just sort of the way it all came together that really, well, it enthralled me really, not to put too big a word in there, but really enthralled me, yeah.
One of my favourite parts of doing the shows was the audience interactions. Like, you'd have people shouting out in the audience, you'd be asking questions to the audience. But something that one of the things I enjoyed the most was between scenes, the Tall Dwarves and Pan Ralph the Wizards, we'd go with the audience to the next scene, and we'd, in between, sometimes it'd be a long walk, and it really felt you're on like a real journey, a big quest together. So we'd be talking to the children, the adults all the way there, and obviously the whole time you're staying in character, everything was real, the magic's real. A plane would go overhead, no, it's a dragon, and so on like that, and that was really interesting, really fun.
From a confidence building point of view, it's fantastic because when you've got a diagnosis like that, you can start to sort of go in on yourself and think that you can't do things, and when that's not actually the case, you know, you don't know till you try, and that, I would say, is probably the motto of my story. You really don't know till you try, and sometimes you surprise yourself.
I think one of the main things that I've got out of doing the show was that I'm in my mid-30s now, and I sort of felt that I've always wanted to do this kind of thing, but I've never done it. And I thought at my age, I thought my opportunities are gone now to do this kind of thing.
One of the first things that Gaynor did when we started with the Willo the Wisp was a sort of a writing workshop, and I found I'm actually a bit of a poet on the quiet, and these verses were sort of coming from I don't know where. The last lines of the play are my words, and to hear that being said and think, well, actually that sounds great, it's really good, it was such a boost, and I was encouraged to sort of take that and go on to look for a creative writing course, which I've done, and I'm in the middle of doing now, and I basically wouldn't have done that without coming here.
I was so glad that I met Gaynor and you know, started taking part in things with the company, because there's this whole world that I've always felt I was on the outside of, and now I'm really involved in it, and I didn't think I'd ever get that opportunity.
I guess I just like seeing all people's faces, how they react, because it is just unique doing the walkabout. I think that's unique, because nowhere else I've ever seen ever has that, and I thought that was just like, and I loved the little kids' reactions, because you get involved with them.
The wide variety of people involved, because there are people with so many skills that come here each week, but then there are different abilities, there's different ages, there's different backgrounds, and yet there is an aim, that standard of production, that quality for the audience, for the public. And so everybody were working towards getting that done in time. And that to me was just tremendous. And it wasn't a case of, oh, you know, you only do this, or wouldn't you think she'd, not at all. It was, let's get this done and let's get it blooming good to look at. And it was remarkable. Really enjoyed every moment I've been here.
Absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait for other people to see it. Enjoy.
I thought it was really good, and I liked all the magical creatures in the woods. I think it was brilliant. If I could, when I quit off, I'd probably be on the show. Oh. It was still here, and yeah, 10 out of 10.
One question, who was your favourite character?
You.
Thank you!
It was excellent, and all the scenes were very good.
One quick question, Tom, who was your favourite character?
My brother.
Oh!
I have fun.
Music, dance, and magic. What more do you want?
It was wonderful to meet all these creatures, also helpful. And I think we have debunked a myth that wisps are naughty creatures.
I thought it was funny when the gnomes were asleep, and at the end when they danced. It was cool.